In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the belief broadcast system of reality, understanding a totally new way for looking at the world and how when you begin to adopt some of these principles, your whole life will begin to change. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now, on this video, I'm going to be sharing with you that of understanding a totally new perspective. And you're going to be like, wow, this is a new perspective. And you're going to be like, again, you're going to be like, secondly, this is a real new perspective. And it's understanding, I've explained this little aspect of it before, that our beliefs create our reality. Depending on what we believe to be true, our reality will be equal to whatever those beliefs are. Now, here is the thing. We think that we are an individual personality. Now, in a way, we could say, yes, there's an authentic expression of who you are. And I would say that that's when you're following your passion. When you're in your passionate state, you become more and more authentic. Even in my videos, I've allowed more of my authenticity to flow through over the last couple months because I've been more so surrendering. I had these big, strong belief systems of like, I have to be successful, do this, do this, do this. And I was like taking so much action. I'm still taking action, but it's from a much different space. But we think of it as a bad thing. When you think of changing your personality, like, right? Isn't that like, I remember back in the day, I'd be around friends and they would say, sometimes we'd say this thing or like somebody would do something different. We'd be like, you've changed, bro. We would say it just like that, like, dude, you've changed, bro, just like that. And it'd be like this bad negative thing. Well, the idea behind it is like, that's not actually a bad thing. Change is not bad. Here's the thing. This is what makes up your personality. Now understand this. This is a quote by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm not saying that I said this or anything, but I'm going to say it now. It's that our personality creates our personal reality. You see that? So our personality creates our personal reality. Our personality is a combination of what we think, how we feel, and how we act. Those three things make up our personality. Now, the things that make those things consistent has to do with our main mental image about who we are. When we think that we are this solid form person that's doing X, Y, Z in life, we put ourselves into a little box. And in this box, this is our belief broadcast system that we then experience our reality through. Now here's the truth. The truth is you are an infinite being. Not a being like black beans or pinto beans. You're a spiritual being that's beyond that. And when you think of that, think of it like you have all this infinite potential, but based on your self-image, you are going to keep yourself inside this little box of your self-image and this little box of this belief broadcast system. Now, what is a belief? A belief is a rule that you have or a pattern that you notice about how the world works. Let me share something with you. When you believe that everything in your life is very solid and has this real heavy, dense form, then that will be your reality. You experience a reality that is equal to your belief about it. Now, let me share with you something that transformed my life. The more that I have realized that life is a form of dream, because at a higher consciousness level, we are unconditional love and bliss. We exist in higher dimensions. We're just projecting ourselves into this reality. We forget that. We go to bed every night. We wake up as that version of us. We just don't remember it when we wake up in the morning because, well, it might not be that relevant for you. It might not be relevant for you to remember that you're an infinite being full of love, bliss, because then you wake up here and you're like, what am I doing here? Why do I got to experience this person or why do I got to do this? And when you become aware of that, sometimes you might want to just do something else or you might get angry about it, you know what I mean? But the key is to become completely at peace with where you are, because what we're experiencing in our life right now is we are raising our vibration up to integrating with what is called our higher self. So I know we're getting a little bit deeper than the whole belief broadcast system thing, but understand who you are, because this is a form of dream. That doesn't have to mean we have to be, it's not scary, this is a good dream, okay? This is meant to be a good dream. There's going to be aspects of it that we go through together as a collective consciousness, because there's this collective dream and then our individual dream within the collective. So we choose how we relate to things, we choose the direction of our focus, we choose what we experience as far as what beliefs we have that we allow to be in our life, and we choose all of this whether we're aware of it or not. Now, the idea is because we are, I'll be right back. Because we exist in these higher forms and we have this higher vibrational energy, in our life, how we define ourselves and what we believe about reality itself is going to determine how much of this source energy, how much of this unconditional love that we bring into our life. So if we believe and have these rules that say I can only feel happy when X, Y, or Z, the world is this scary place, all of these things, as our belief broadcast system, which you could say is part of our physical body, we are only interpreting through that, we are only interpreting that of what is equal to what we allow through. Here's the thing. Even if you have a belief that says, I can make $100,000 a year, and you're currently making $50,000 a year, that is still a limiting belief. There is never going to be a certain belief that you get to that is going to be the actual max of your soul's potential. It has to do with our physical reality. It has to do with the beliefs that we have about ourselves. This is about understanding who you really are and then how you relate to the world. Because once you start making $100,000 a year, like I believe I can make $100,000 a year, that belief is almost like a vehicle that you use for a certain period of time. And you use that vehicle and it gets you from point A to point B. It gets you from 2017 to 2018 or 2018 to 2019. But guess what? Then you up the ante. You say, you know what? This was a nice car. I drove this around for a while. It was pretty cool. However, what I want to do now is I want to make $200,000 a year. Whoa. Then what you do is you think, wow, this would be amazing. I'm going to goal myself at making $200K a year. I'm going to have more visualization. I'm going to feel the emotion now. You work at it and you start to get $200,000 a year. And you say, that is my potential. That is not your potential. All of these different beliefs that you have are nothing but interpretations and lenses through which you're seeing the world that is allowing you to see a reality that is equal to that lens. You might put in the lens of, I can make $100K a year, I can make $200K a year, whatever it is, it's still a limiting belief because the truth is you have more potential than you can even imagine. But understand that that's not who you are. You know, many times we think the beliefs we have, this is who I am, this is what I'm capable of. Drop the connection to thinking that you always have to have a grasp on defining yourself. Stop defining yourself. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just saying, you might find that you get a little bit further if you stop defining yourself. Just saying, it's like a suggestion. But that's what I've learned. So even I may even say one day, I can make this money. It's like a grand amount of money I could even possibly hardly imagine. But even then, it will be a limiting belief. You see, here is the thing. Now I'm talking slower. It's becoming a lot more, you could feel it. I'm just kidding. You might be asking yourself, you might be saying, okay, so I'm going to change my beliefs. But how do I change my beliefs? Well, the key and the secret sauce to this whole entire process is awareness. Because when you become aware of the beliefs that you have, that's when your life begins to change. You see, most people just think reality is set. Reality is the way it is. People treat me this way. The world is this way. Attracting money is this way. These are all beliefs. When you think that those beliefs are solid and you think those beliefs are real, that will become your reality. However, when you take a step back and you just simply become aware of those beliefs, you then go from inside this little box of your belief broadcast system, and you expand yourself out, and then you can see inside of it. You can see, whoa, some of this stuff I don't prefer to experience. Some of this stuff has been serving me for a period of time, but it no longer really serves me. This isn't something that I want to keep on experiencing. And you might go back into your broadcast belief system and you might say, you know what? I'm going to allow myself to feel the emotions of these beliefs and of these past patterns. And as you allow yourself to complete the patterns of the past, you then transform the patterns of the past. That is where the power is. The power is in the awareness. And some people will say, it can't be that simple. You got to like work really hard. You got to do this. You got to become aware of this. It can be that simple. It really can be. You become aware of your beliefs, and as you become aware of them, you see that they no longer serve you. And at many times, those beliefs aren't even yours. You've adopted them. You said, hey, come over here. Or what you did is your parents gave them to you. It was like, here's a belief. And you were like, okay, let me put that in my pocket. I'm going to carry it around my whole entire life. And then you experience, and you're in that belief broadcast system. But then what happens is eventually you go, I'm questioning reality itself, which means you're going to question the whole entire broadcast belief system. And then what you do is you expand yourself out. And then you can look inside and you go, you know what? My dad, my mom gave me this belief when I was 7, and I've been carrying it in my pocket this whole time, but I don't want to keep on carrying it in my pocket. It's kind of heavy. It's pulling my pants down. I got to wear belts and stuff. This ain't comfortable. And then what you do is you say, you know what? You take that belief out, you look at it, you become at peace with it, and you let it go. Like a dove. You just let it go and it flies away. Even if it doesn't, it's like some belief that doesn't have to do flying, it just flies away. You just let it go. Imagine that right now. You know how powerful symbolism is? Imagine right now that you have a belief. Take a belief that you have. Let's let go of a belief right now. I wasn't even going to do this, but let's do this. I think this is cool. Imagine that there's a belief that you have that you're going to become aware of right now. Take it out of your pocket. Now, there might be nothing in pocket. You might not even have pockets. You might be at home, not even wearing pants. I don't know. However, take and imagine there's something in your pocket and look at it in your hand and imagine it that it's a belief that's outdated. Maybe it's a belief about relationships, that you always attract the wrong girl or guy. Maybe it's a belief about money, that it's hard to get. Maybe it's a belief about people. You're like, I'm shy around people and I don't connect with people. Maybe it's some belief that you don't prefer. Look at that belief in your hand. Look at that belief and become totally okay with that belief. Don't resist it. You don't have to like say, you're going to fly away right now or else, and then like try to throw it up in the air. Look at the belief and become at peace with it, because here's the thing. That belief served you for a period of time. It did. Even if you're like, well, there's only negative things that came from it, it served you because you were able to learn from it. It served you because it made you more aware of who you are. And it served you because it probably made you feel comfortable at a certain level. So be grateful for it. Look at it, be grateful for it. And let it be there. Then you let go of the resistance, and then it's not tied to your hand. It's tied to your hand when you have resistance. So when you try to let it go, even if you just like frail up your hands really fast, it's gonna like be like, you know, that little ball that's on like that ping pong thing, and it's like boom, boom, just it stays on your hand. You can't get it off. You just keep going like this and it just stays. Instead, what you can do is you let go of that string and it detaches when you just allow it to be there. So look at that belief, and think to yourself and feel inside of your heart right now and say, it's okay. Thank you for serving me. I realize that I probably got you from somewhere else. I probably got you from a parent, a friend, someone in my environment, maybe when I was even younger. But thank you. Thank you for serving me. Thank you for what you've made me more aware of. And thank you for giving me the choice right now to become more aware of my beliefs, and that this will change many different areas of my life, this little symbol thing right here that Aaron's doing. So look at it, and then what you can do is imagine it's in your hand. Imagine it as a ball of energy, and then pick it up like this, and then throw it up and imagine it going all the way to the center of the galaxy. Throw it up and imagine it going to the center of the universe, and it's just completely dissolving into love energy. It served you. It's okay. How do you feel now? My guess is that if you did it, you felt the emotions and you just imagine it going up, you felt a little bit of a release. You felt it kind of leave your hand. You see, that's the power of understanding your beliefs and how it's simple. It's so simple to let it go. It's about awareness. You become aware of it, just throw it up. Become aware of it, then dissolve it by letting it be there and being aware of it, and then allow it to float up. That's as easy as this can be, but understand that none of this process is actually about piling on a new belief. If you pile on a new belief, just be aware it's just a belief. That's all you have to be aware of. It's just a belief. So you might say, I have a certain vehicle I'm driving around right now that says I can make $60K a year. You might this year say, you know what, I'm going to make $150K a year. You're like, I'm going to up it. You up it. Even then, it's still a belief. And the key, I'm not telling you to get into a new car. I'm saying that if you do get a new car, just be aware that you're getting into a new car. Don't think that that's who you are. And as you do that, you then see that things start to happen easier in your life. But the key to this is understanding that when you get to a high vibration, you can disapparate or apparate, like in Harry Potter. You don't need to drive. It's about being in the vibrational frequency now. Thinking that the 150K will make you feel a certain way, you're like, no, I'm going to feel that emotion now, and then you just are. Everywhere you go, there you are. You are in that high vibrational state. You feel like you're already accomplishing that which you want. So, for this process, be aware that you have infinite potential, and that when you believe that reality is fixed and solid, your reality will be fixed and solid. Basically what I'm saying is that the more you realize that your life is a form of dream, the more dreamlike your life will become. The more flexible things will become, the more you'll realize that you are so much more than you can possibly imagine, and that any belief you have is just simply that. It is a belief. It is a belief that you can continue to use in the same way you may continue to use a car. But eventually, you may trade it out for a new car, like trade out for a new belief. Or eventually what you might do is let it all go and realize that you can feel the happiness and the love in the present moment, and that then you teleport. That's the idea. So understand that your beliefs are creating your reality. It's not so much that you are creating the beliefs, you are just choosing them as they flow through, and you are putting rules as to how reality works. That is controlling the lens through which you see the world. So if you change the lens, you change your reality. Poke outside of that little bubble of that belief system of that kind of reality, and you start to see even more. Then as you're aware of it, you can then change it. It can be as simple as having awareness, and the more awareness you have, the more you are able to transform. So with that, most of this process has to do with completing the patterns of the past. And when you do that, you become aware of the beliefs. Now, the most powerful meditation that I've ever made, it's in the top of the description box below. It's on completing the emotions of the past so that you do not have to repeat them. As you let these go, it'll transform the way you see yourself, transform the way you show up in the world. Just read the comments on the top to see what is possible for you, the comments within that YouTube video. You'll see, listen to it for 21 days. I think will absolutely transform your life. Also, I'm gonna be doing more live Q&As on Instagram. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram already, I do Q&As almost every day there. Plus, I do 2 posts a day that are native to YouTube content. So if you want more content from me, there you go as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification gear so that you can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.